doing great. I'm refreshed. I'm revived. I got new material. Skip Bayless, you in trouble, bro. You in trouble.
You know, it's funny. I was just thinking how I am so rested right now. I'm reinvigorated. I'm rejuvenated. I wouldn't want to have to deal with me today. I think you're the one who's in trouble.
Ooh,
I think you were reinvigorated like old Goat James.
Oh, the old
like
man?
Like old Goat James. You see him last night, Skip?
The old goat.
Don't do that. Don't do that, Skip. Don't.
Goat James, he got a little rest as well. We actually do have to talk about what we saw last night. Let's talk about that game. The Lakers led by as many as 35 points on their way to a 117-91 victory over the Warriors last night. LeBron had 19 points, sat the whole fourth quarter. LA is now 3-4 since Anthony Davis went out with a calf injury 2 weeks ago. And in that stretch, LeBron has averaged 25 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists. So Shannon, has LeBron helped or hurt his MVP case in AD's absence here?
Well, I think for me, Jenny, I think he's leveled it off but that's not telling the whole story in its totality. Yeah, they've played 7 games without Anthony Davis, but they've also played 4 games minus Dennis Schroeder. So tell me the superstar, if you take away the next 2 best players, what their record's going to be. So if I take Joel Embiid and I take Ben Simmons and I take Tobias Harris, what do you think their record's going to be over 7 games? If I take Paul George and Serge Ibaka from Kawhi, what do you think his record's going to be over 7 games? If I take Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. away from Yoke, what do you think his record's going to be? So in order for us to tell the story, we must tell the story in its totality. Yes, they played 7 games without Anthony Davis, but they've also played 4 games without Dennis Schroeder. And what Schroeder does, Skip, Schroeder is that sibling. He's the middle sibling. He's old enough to tie his own shoe, but he can also help the younger siblings tie their shoe. Because when you look at it, Skip, what he can do, he can create his own shot, but he can also create opportunities for someone else. LeBron was taking a heavy burden, a heavy load, Skip. Not only did he have to get himself going, he had to find ways to try to get other guys going. And you play in the amount of minutes that he's playing, these overtime games, Skip, where you would normally play maybe 35, 40 minutes, you start going overtime and double overtime. Now, all of a sudden, when you're averaging 34, 35 minutes, that's going to creep up to 37, 38, maybe even 39 minutes. So I don't think he's done anything to hurt his case because none of the other MVPs have done anything to help their cases. Joel Embiid lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers. That just happened Saturday. What place are the Cavaliers in? We've seen what happened when James Harden plays without KD and Kyrie. So, no, LeBron James has not hurt his case for MVP. As a matter of fact, I still have him in first place because how do you come back? You lost to the Cavaliers. The Cleveland Cavaliers, minus Goat James. So, if anything, LeBron James has maybe gained a vote here or there, but he's definitely not done anything to harm his MVP candidacy.
First quick point of order before I launch into what I have to say about Goat James. Somebody I'm looking down the barrel at right now bet me that over the 9 games that LeBron was about to play without Anthony Davis, and I'll give you without Dennis Schroeder. I'll get to that in just a minute, but somebody bet me that the best player on the planet, quote unquote, would go 6-3 in those 9 games. And he started out 1-4. He lost 3 straight home games. And I think you've already lost the bet because I think the best he can now do is 5-4. Correct?
Hold on, Skip. You really going to take that bet after Schroeder has to miss 4 games because of health protocol? For real, Skip, that's how you going to do it?
Them's the breaks. How many times have I gotten burned by some injury, some weird thing? But wait a second. I thought you told me that your man is still the best player on the planet, that he was running away with the MVP race. Now he's fallen back to where he just has a slight lead in the MVP race by default.
Slight edge. Slight edge.
So all of a sudden, you're trying to tell me that Dennis Schroeder is like Kyrie meets Patrick Beverly? Is that what we're talking about? Because I hear LeBron say he's one of the best on-ball defenders in the league. Couldn't fool me. I give you, he's pretty good, but he's made no all-defense team so far in his career. Patrick Beverley's made 3 all-defensive teams. So I'd say I'll take Patrick Beverley over Dennis Schroeder. And the point is he Kyrie Irving because he's averaging 15 and 4 assists and 4 rebounds? Really? And you're going to make the case that GOAT James can't be GOAT without Dennis Schroeder?
Skip, the thing is what he does is that he's their best on-ball defender, so he can pick up 94 feet. If you notice, the things that were killing them is what? Dribble penetration, kick to wide-open threes. We saw that Kyrie, James Harden, breaking the defense down, kicking the ball to Shannon, kicking the ball to Joe Harris, kicking the ball to TLC, wide-open shots. We saw them get blown out in Utah. What happened? They couldn't stay in front of Mike Conley. They couldn't stay in front of Donovan Mitchell. He's kicking. They're kicking the ball to wide-open guys. Schroeder can slide. Schroeder can move his feet. And so not only can he play defense as an on-ball defender, he also can get his own shot. He also can create opportunities for someone else. So he's a very valuable piece. Is he Kyrie? No, he's not Kyrie. But, Skip, for them, and you talk about Pat Bev, the Lakers are not on the market for a point guard. It seems to me every point guard that might become available, the Clippers want him. They're in the running for Kyle Lowry. They're in the running for this one. If Pat Beverly is what you tell me he is continuously, and article after article say he's the 3rd most important player, why the hell is the Clippers always looking for a point guard?
Well,
they got one.
Obviously, offensively, he's not a great point guard. Defensively, he is a little pit bull. You know it, and I know it. I'll take Pat Bev even at an advanced age over Dennis Schroeder defensively any day or any night.
But as a total player, would you take Patrick Beverley as a total player over Dennis Schroeder? Because you have to play both sides. That's the thing I love about basketball. You just can't snowbird on one end and light somebody up on the other end. At some point in time, you're going to have to buckle down on both ends. So as a player, would you take Dennis Schroeder or Patrick Beverley as we sit here today?
Okay, I'll give you that. I would give a slight edge to a younger Dennis Schroeder. I like his electricity. I like his quickness.
Yes.
He's not a pure point guard, obviously. He's really a 2-guard. LeBron is the point guard. So I will give you that you miss him a little, but don't give me LeBron's the best player on the planet and then say, oh, my God, he can't do it without Dennis Schroeder and AD. What about KCD? What about THT? What about the other Morris, Markieff? We can just go to, what about Kyle Kuzma? He's becoming a semi-star at least, right? You're loaded. You got a deep basketball team, and you lose 3 games in a row at home because LeBron stinks it up, and you're telling me he's still the MVP?
Yeah, but let me ask you a question, Skip. You didn't answer my question. If I take Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris away from Ben Simmons from Joel Embiid for 7 games, are they going 6-1? 5-2?
I didn't say Joel Embiid's the best player on the planet. You said LeBron is.
Well, no. It doesn't matter. We talking about MVP candidacy, correct? Right now, that's what we're saying. So I'm taking, if you take the 3 or 4 MVP candidates and you take away the 2nd and 3rd best options on those teams, what do you think their record's going to be if they play comparable competition?
The truth is, Joel Embiid has been so dominating, the record would be the same. Again, the Sixers aren't as deep as the Lakers are. Joel Embiid makes his free throws. LeBron James has plummeted to 69.4% from the free throw line. That is pathetic. You're disqualified from the MVP race if you can't even make 70% of your free throws. What do you bet me on his free throws? He's going to make, what, 80% this year, right? And Shannon, he just went through maybe the coldest three-point stretch of his career. He slightly came out of it last night, making 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5. Wow. I'm impressed.
You saw that the one from Bakersfield hit one from Bakersfield.
Oh, okay. Well, I saw him miss point blanks. Listen to this 9-game stretch. This is 9 games. Through the middle of February. He starts off with a 2 for 10. Then he goes 3 of 9, 1 of 4, 0 for 5, 1 of 4, 1 for 6, 1 of 8, and ends it with 2 of 10, and then 1 for 5 at Utah the other night. That is horrendously bad. He's shooting high-volume three-point shots, and he's crippling his team because I just gave you a 20% streak. You can't win games that way, and that's why. Let's look at the 2 games that they lost that were just horrendous. How about the Miami game? I'm going a week ago, Saturday night at home. And it comes down to LeBron, and he was 1 for 8 from 3. And what happened on the final possession? Usually the best player on the planet would say, I got this. And what did LeBron say? Here we go. They force a turnover. Here comes Caruso. Gives it to LeBron. Shoot it, LeBron. Shoot it.
They double it.
He gives it.